Is that going to get you up this 5 miles, 4,000 feet climb?
And the 3 other coffees.
And the 3 other coffees. That'll help you if you can't finish it. Mom. This is what Resupply morning looks like. We're packing out 4 days of food today. Hopefully we're gonna have some meals and some huts this week too. Mom and Dad brought us all kinds of Resupply. I think they thought we were gonna starve because they brought half the deli. With the old in with the new.
You can clearly see the difference. It's night and day with these things.
Those were once blue.
They weren't.
All right. A big thank you to Mom and Dad for bringing you new sneakers. Yep. So you don't slide off the mountain, and enough food to last us a lifetime. They've turned into Latin grandparents because Will's been around for so long. They're afraid we're going to run out of food. And this time it was Mom. Usually it's Dad.
Welcome back to day 143. I'm Captain.
And I'm Sunshine.
And we are still walking.
And we're still talking. And we're walking on pavement today.
And we're carrying out everything.
Oh, what should we discuss first?
We are carrying probably 40 pounds. 45 probably.
I'm probably about 33. I've got a full food pack out for 4 days, plus today's food in a separate pack. 2 liters of water, winter and summer clothes. We're going to keep carrying our summer clothes for until we see Will again. So probably another week to 10 days. So it is heavy, heavy, heavy.
And this is probably the heaviest it's ever going to get.
Yeah, and we will. Yeah, this is probably the heaviest for this next week. But we're also in the whites now, and it's gonna impact our miles. There's no way we're gonna get 16. I think we had 16.4 yesterday, plus the 0.4 we went off trail by accident, plus the additional mile. So yesterday was a big day, but it makes a difference with full packs. We now have a mile on a paved blue blaze back to the AT, so we haven't even hit the AT yet. It is 10:30 in the morning. We got a bit of a late start because we got to have breakfast with my parents. They brought Captain new shoes because his treads were really worn down. They brought us some Resupply. It was awesome.
And I'm so glad not to have mud-stained shoes again. I'm sure they'll be mud-stained in about 2 seconds.
And real food from the real world.
Yeah.
And then an amazing, amazing breakfast at a diner. I just feel great and energized. This is so weird, guys, but almost every day when we get on the trail, if it's a hard terrain or harder or something new, I still get a little anxious and nervous. I don't know why. I mean, we've done this. I don't know why. Captain and I were just talking about, like, why does this happen? I'm confident in my ability and what we're doing. I just get a little, I don't know, a little loopy. Okay, we are going today from Flume Gorge Visitor Center to, we think, Garfield Shelter, which is 10.3 of AT miles, which ends up being 11.3 because we got the blue blaze back to the trail. And
we should be hitting more, but today is going to be a testing ground a bit to see how fast we can go with our packs full.
Right, we climbed Musalaki, we had full packs, but they were not super full because we only had like 2 days of food left. Now that we've got 5 or I don't know, more than that, it's gonna be hard. And this is I think it's side over, honey. Sorry. I think it's another one. Sorry. I have to look at that thing again, but I think it's a 4 mile climb up, and I think we gain 1,000 feet every mile or something. So it's a big climb. There is rain in the forecast for the whole day today, drizzly. There's a slight chance of thunderstorm and lightning. And if that happens, we will kind of pull off, pitch our tent and stop hiking. What else is happening today?
Not much.
That's it.
We are full bellies, full packs.
3 days. We have 3 days in our 3rd day in the whites.
Yep. And
how'd you sleep?
I slept great.
Yeah, I slept great too. We had a 5-bedroom hostel, and there were only 3 of us in it, so it was nice.
Let's get going.
We're on the Liberty Spring Trail, Appalachian Trail. We are going much further than Liberty Spring Campsite or Franconia Ridge Trail. Oh, here we go. It's hard today, guys. So at breakfast with my parents, we were talking about DNRs, do not resuscitate, if you don't know what that is, or what that acronym is. And Morbid talk, I know. But my grandmother's on hospice, so there's a lot of, yeah, I still have a grandmother alive. Can you believe it? She's 99. So it was just part of the conversation. And my dad said that I was not in charge of their DNR because I have too big of a heart. And I couldn't even respond to it at lunch because, at breakfast, because my big heart would have started crying. And then everyone would have started crying. But I am, how do I say, I am an HSP, or I am HSP, which is a real thing. It's called a highly sensitive person. And I spent a good part of my younger years like trying to hold back how I was feeling with that, just that, you know, that lump you get in your throat. That's like a real thing. Just utter pain, just like keeping the lump there so that I didn't break down. And then I got to a point where I just said, you know what? This is not a bad thing. I feel deeply for other people, and that's just the way it is. And it's a part of me I really, really like. At first, I thought I was like a nutcase when I was younger, but now I realize it's not such a bad thing, and I channel it into a really positive way and being honest and compassionate to those who are marginalized and not given, you know, just people who've just been struck with a bad stroke of luck, right? Anyway, and now I just embrace it. I just embrace HSP, and I think it's really enriched my life, and it's made me a better parent and a better partner and everything. And I don't have to have that stupid lump in my throat. It's like, I know some of you know what I'm talking about. So I think it contributes to making the vlogs a lot better too, because I can really feel very deeply. And I think we all feel very deeply, just some of us feel deeper, or some of us like repress it. And so we should just be able, the world's a better place if we're feeling deeply, I think. And we're feeling deeply for other people, right? Just having an enormous amount of compassion. Because I'm one of the lucky ones. I had a good life. I mean, I haven't had too many bad things happen to me. I've had some trauma to deal with. Will and I have gone through a lot trying to be the best person we can possibly be for ourselves, each other, and our kids. But overall, I'm lucky. I'm one of the lucky ones. So I try to channel that HSP to help others. They're just are not so fortunate, whatever the situation may be. So any other HSPs out there? Are you a big feeler? I actually, I think that was a really great compliment my dad said. So you guys, my favorite berry is strawberries, although I love all berries, but strawberries in particular. And a little bit of, I don't know, sunshine history. I have a bundle of tattoos. They all have special meaning for me. I don't regret any of them. But the first tattoo I got, I was 17 years old. I went with my mom. She got her first tattoo. And, oh, ouch. Sorry, there's a mosquito biting me. I got a strawberry, and it wasn't really a profound meaning. It was just like, I like strawberries. I got it someplace that I could cover it with one of those circle Band-Aids just in case I didn't like it. I kept, ow, geez, bug. Sorry, guys. I hope the other hand is holding the strawberries. Anyway, first tattoo is strawberry. The other ones have kind of a deeper meaning. If anyone's interested in me explaining or showing them all, I can. Just let me know. We have 1.6 straight up, and then we have 5 to the peak, but we have some ups and downs, but the ups in between the 1.6 and the 5 are pretty extreme. They're just shorter. It's Labor Day weekend, so lots of weekend hut hoppers, section hikers out here, which is really nice. I like seeing other people, especially in a hiking area that can be pretty strenuous, dangerous, demoralizing, all of it. It's nice to see happy, clean faces coming down and people that are just in a good mood. Captain's on his second breakfast already. Yep. Milky Way, it does the body good. Captain was getting something out of his bag, and he put his bear can down, and it rolled down the hill. You're just lucky that branch was there to save it, or it would have went all the way down to the hostel.
What?
I said, you're lucky that branch was there to save it, or it might have gone all the way down to the hostel.
Yeah. This is first time this has happened.
That is the first time. Phew. Saved by the birch tree.
No.
Welcome to our tent, Jerry Sr., who is now going to be just known as Jerry or Jer. So last time you saw us, I don't remember what we were taped last, but it wasn't this. It is by 4 p.m. We were set up and in our tent because although it's not raining right this second, it was raining really hard. And we have a major climb at high altitude with what we've heard is 40 miles per hour, no visibility, foggy, freezing up on the top. So we decided to cut our day short, come in our tent, which is not ideal because we need to make our miles, but we were getting cold and it was only going to get colder because we had over 1,000 feet more of a climb. And it was a good decision. It was a safety decision and we're very happy with it. Now we're just we kept kind of spotty service. I'm trying to return emails. Captain's catching up on what? Formula One?
Yep.
Formula One. And we thought we would do a little Q&A with you guys. Now, don't judge our Q&A. We're cold. We don't have a proper way to put the camera up. So we're probably just going to go like this, switching it back between each other's hands like this until someone's hands get tired. And I'm freezing. So we're not our typical selves, but we want to answer some questions. All right, Captain, will you hold this first?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you get tired, okay? Question number 1. Sue asks, how would you do a tick check if you were solo hiking? Can it be embarrassing to have to check the other's body for ticks?
In reality, I think we rarely ever check more than our legs. I'm sure we should be.
Yeah. So we don't check each other's bodies. When the kids were little, we used to check their bodies because they were younger, but Largo is quite capable of checking his own body.
And we also used to run around in the dirt. And
Yeah.
and we're not doing that on this trail.
Yeah. So we both check our heads every night. We kind of rub our hands through our heads and our hair, kind of like a head massage. We both do our legs. And basically when you're changing your clothes or getting a sleep bag, you just run your hands across your body and you can feel if there's anything.
Yeah.
He's a little different because he has hair on his legs. So he really has to kind of touch his legs to feel. I can just look at my legs. And so far we've only found them, I think, below our knees, right?
Yes, I have found one in my hair, but that is a special circumstance.
Yeah.
Because I am one to sit
Yeah.
quite often.
He sits down a lot, so he gets more. So that answers that question. Donna says or asks, do you have to pay with cash at a place like that, or do they have another type of system set up? Okay, I can't remember which blog that was on, but I think like that's referring to shuttles and hostels. Oh, I think that was also for the shed that we came that had you just come in
Right.
and the honor system and you take food.
Normally, they're set up with Venmo. That
Yeah.
is probably the most common form of payment that I've seen on this trail.
Yeah, I think everyone that has accepted something other than cash and credit has accepted Venmo. Not Zelle, not Cash App, Venmo. So make sure you have Venmo. We've only come across one person that was cash only, and she let us know ahead of time. The shuttle drivers all accept Venmo, and all these little like snack shops. We were even at one that was just like a refrigerator in like a little shed with like ice creams and stuff in it, and they accepted Venmo.
Normally, they have like some sort of QR code, and it's pretty simple
Yeah.
and easy to understand.
Marilyn says, do I talk to myself when I'm hiking solo? Yeah, I do. Do you?
Sometimes. Yeah, and then it's awkward when somebody walks by that you didn't realize was there. You're like, oh shit. Act like you're on a call.
It's also like when you fart when you don't think someone's there and you turn around and you realize someone's behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Captain does that. I don't ever do that. I don't fart.
Not sure.
Michelle says, curious as to why you don't have any solar charging power banks.
I don't think that would work. I think that to have solar charging as a power bank, you need to either, number one, be into camp early, Or number 2, be in an area where you can charge and walk at the same time.
And have sun.
And the AT is not one of those.
The AT is called, what is it called? The green canopy
The
or something
green
like
tunnel
that.
or something.
The
yes,
green tunnel.
because
there's no sun.
when you walk, there will be no sun.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say that I haven't considered it, but the fact of the matter is, unless you're in early and there's no rain and there's only sunshine, which normally there is, or there has been. During the summer, there was a lot of sun.
But you have to also make, wherever you're in early, you have to have sun.
You have to have sun, exactly.
Like sun, I'm sorry to cut you off. Sun at the tent site. And that doesn't always happen.
If you're relying on that as for power, just in general, that's kind of a debatable option. I would definitely say that if you're maybe a weekend hiker or you're just out on like a camping trip where you're in the same place, solar definitely would work. I mean, just as a little source to, charge your phone or maybe your computer, it definitely would work.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Lori Richardson. Oh, sorry, the phone's is in the camera.
Yeah.
Lori Richardson, thank you for your $10. I don't know if what's it called now? Super chat? Is it still called super chat?
I believe so.
$10 donation through YouTube. We're going to use it, or he's going to use it for ice cream, most likely. Okay, Jackie says, does Far Out show the old route or the new route?
I believe it updates each year.
Yeah, it updates each year to the new route.
I'm sure if you did a bit more deep dive investigating, you could try and find the old route on Far Out itself. I'm not certain how you would do that, but you can definitely try. Yeah,
Far Out's always the new route. And when you're on the trail, you can sometimes see where the old route was. And there's like people have put like, it looks like where the route goes, and the people put sticks across it so you don't accidentally go on there.
Yeah.
And then when it does a detour, it will show it on Far Out as well. Far Out is really amazing. We still owe you guys a vlog on just Far Out tutorial and how to use it.
Not only that, a lot of the older trails or the old part of the AT has been turned into different trails.
Right. Okay, Gotta Fly asks, what are the waterproof socks? The brand they're called Dex Shell.
And they're pretty useful. I would say I'm using them. I find that I need to have a bit of warning before putting them on, because for the past week or so, I was putting them on, hadn't rained a bit, and then yesterday I decided, hey, you know what? I shouldn't be carrying these around. I shouldn't be wearing them. There may be a bit of extra weight, and today it rained. So,
all right. All right, someone wants to know what happened with the Uber driver. Okay, so there were actually a couple of you that asked that, so I am going to share it. For the first time ever, we got in an Uber car, and he asked if we were wet, and we didn't think we were wet. And when we got out, when he stopped at Walgreens, there was a little wet spot on the seat, like very little wet spot from Captain. He didn't know he was wet. And he said, I'm going to have to charge you to clean this or whatever. And I said, but it's just water. And he was trying to charge me for some other stains that were on the seat. And I noticed him when I got in because he asked if we were wet. And I thought, this seems really weird. Is he going to like try and fast one on us? And I thought, no, we've always had good experience with Uber. Well, guess what? He charged us $180 to clean the water off the seat. And I told him, I said, I'll pay you, $30 or something. You want to go get it cleaned. It doesn't cost that much to clean these seats at the car washes and stuff, even though it was just water. And he billed Uber and said we did the stains as well, which we did not. And Uber hasn't reimbursed us for it. So I thought that was really, really shady. And then it scarred us. So whenever we got in an Uber after that, I would let the person know, like, hey, bring trash bags or something. We could be wet. And then one guy, we didn't have trash bags and he didn't have them. And he said, what are you talking about? Get in the car. Like, we had some really amazing, amazing conversations with Uber drivers throughout this trip. And sometimes you just get a bad egg who just wants to take advantage of the opportunity to do that. So that's the story with that.
But that's super unconventional. Normally we have great experiences with Ubers, and we've taken them all over the world.
We have all over the world. We love them. Okay. Okay, what else here? So this one is from Lady Di. What are your plans after the trail? Do you plan on staying in the United States? You want to answer that one?
Yes. Our plans are to be back here for around 6 to 8 months because I'm getting my private pilot's license. It's been a long time coming, but I want to get it before I go into high school or before I go into college. And it's just kind of a time time for me to get that out of the way. And we're here, so we might as well.
Yeah, so we'll be in the U.S. for 6 to 8 months, depending on how long it takes him to get the license. And then we will go back to the boat and continue traveling west to French Polynesia on the boat until he launches to college. We'll drop him off at college, and then we'll go back to the boat and keep sailing. We're not done with full-time travel at all.
And probably a Pacific crossing in the works.
Yes. 57 Dent. Wondering how you get daily footage to Will you're not physically meeting with him. I assume those nights where you're near town, you have good internet connections, but when you're remote, what happens? We have 2 SD cards. Once before we're never in a spot that has good enough Wi-Fi to upload to him. So we tried it once for several days and it didn't work. So we mailed him the SD card from FedEx and had him send us a second one. So now we have 2 SD cards. And since we're 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks behind on the vlogs, we see him every 2 to 3 weeks and then we can just upload the footage. But in the event we didn't, we would mail him one of the SD cards and then use the old one that we had. Right? That's kind of how we do it.
It's pretty unconventional. But when we're not, if we were in any situation where we weren't at our computers every 2 weeks, we would mail the SD cards. If we were not that kind of situation, we just had our computers, we would upload it to just the cloud in OneDrive, and that would be it.
And basically, now that he's almost back in school, we'll be having our computers shuttled to each week, so that I can do work while he's in school for probably the month of September. It's not ideal, but he's going back to school, and I've got to do some work. So, David asks, "You're both trail fit. So my question is, after a day hiking with a full pack compared to slack packing, do you feel more fatigued or tired?"
Absolutely. I would say, I mean, we're trail fit, yes, but we always appreciate a slack pack. And so when we have to go back to it, it's always a bit tiring in the beginning of the day.
Like right now, we slack packed yesterday, and then today we got back on the trail because we're carrying our winter and summer clothing for the next 10 days because we're in that transition period. Like today I wore summer clothing, but tonight I'm all bundled up in my winter stuff because I'm freezing. And also full 5 days of food today too, and winter and summer. And then yesterday we were with our slack pack. So today was really hard, those first couple miles going up.
That's right, because normally even when we are coming in from like going into a slack pack, our packs are already a bit lighter because we have eaten down our food and we've gone to a lower weight as we're getting closer to whatever it is, a hostel, hotel, accommodation. And so it jumps from like
extra light,
maybe 75% of our full weight down to like 25%. And then it jumps back up to 100.
Exactly. And David also asks, and is there a lot of a difference between the miles you cover? I think so, when we're slacking and not.
Here's the thing. I've kind of changed my stance a bit on slack packing. I definitely think there is a utility to it, but I don't think we should be going into it looking at it as like a quote unquote, we're going to get better miles. Because yes, we will be lighter and we will be able to go faster, but that also comes with having to adapt to pick up and drop off
We
points.
were talking about that yesterday.
Not only that, we also have to accommodate to shuttle timings, and it isn't as fast because we have to deal with charging stuff, finding good food options,
taking a shower,
which is all great stuff. I'm not saying that's bad in any way.
We hate taking those damn showers.
But the problem with that is it adds more time, because normally on a hike in an hour, we're from when we get on or
we wake up.
From when we wake up, we are walking for an hour. And that is completely the opposite off trail. We wake up, we probably take an hour and a half before we're even in a shuttle. That also doesn't entail how long it takes to get to a trailhead.
Right.
Because those can take from 10, 15 to 20 to 30 to 40
driving
minutes.
And then like this morning we got on and we had to walk an extra mile on a Blue Blaze to actually reach back to the AT because that was the spot that they could pick up.
That is probably one of the rarest circumstances of that.
Yeah, that's the furthest we've ever had to. I think when I slack packed by myself one day making up a miles, I had to do a mile in as well.
Yes.
So I would say we lose when we slack. We lose at least 2 hours a day from all the logistics. So what we gain in making in miles, we would lose in time. I guess you're right about that.
But
I would agree with that.
My point being, I think slack packing definitely has its has its goal and its point. For those who are really trying to make more miles, you can absolutely do that, but you're not going to enjoy being in a hostel or your accommodations, basically. And so I think that...
What do you mean when you say that you're not going to get to enjoy what they have to offer? Because you have to get up and do the shuttle.
You're going to get up sleep deprived. You're going to eat trail food if you don't want to spend the time to prepare normal food. And you're just going to go out and kind of have a regular trail day. Whereas when you're slack packing, you kind of want to enjoy normal food and normal beds and kind of sleeping in a bit. But I would definitely say that slack packing has a place if you're looking at it as we're going to do the normal amount of miles and rest up a bit more.
I feel like slack packing for us now too is almost like taking a zero.
That's right.
It's not a day off from hiking, and we usually do more miles, but it's a little bit less weight on our back and gives us just a break.
It's also less to deal with, I would say, because you're not worrying about getting a good tent spot. You're just worried about where's the road.
Yeah, where's the road? And you can hike a little bit after dark if the terrain's okay, because you're like, I can come in after dark because I don't know if I'm tired. I don't have to set up my tent and deal with my food and go put my bear can.
But I would also say slack packing has allowed us to do more things, like the Fort State Challenge, 45 miles. I would not have been able to do that without slack packing.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's good. I mean, I think that that was
like having breakfast with my parents this morning. We couldn't have done if we weren't slack packing.
Yeah.
So I agree. It has its value for sure. I think that's it for the ones. There are a ton more questions, but I haven't converted them over to the question thing. So, let me see. I think that is it. What's up with school now that you're back on the trail? I think that was a question from when you got off to do the AP thing.
Right.
So there was no school all summer. And then starting in a couple of weeks, he will need to stay off trail 2 days a week in a hostel to do schoolwork.
And that's going to be till the end.
Yeah, until we end, it's all going to be complicated. We're still trying to figure it out, the logistics, but
I'm glad that I can keep doing the trail and finish. I mean, I wouldn't want to cut this trail short just because of AP classes. So
I think since we've talked for 18 minutes and we didn't film much today, so that's all right. This will be a long one. Let's close it out. Yeah, we are.
Today was
hold on. Go ahead. Sorry.
Today was a long day. You know, we pushed ourselves to our breaking point.
We hiked a whopping 4 miles. We went from Flume Gorge. Actually, we hiked 5 miles because we had to hike that extra mile in to get to the AT. But from Flume Gorge parking lot to stealth site, mile 1828. Best and worst.
My best part was the breakfast, and my worst part was the rain.
It wasn't seeing your grandparents.
That too.
He means breakfast and the grandparents.
Yes. The whole experience.
My best part was seeing my parents. I loved that so much. And then my worst part was the rain and not making our miles as a result and just being really cold. So you guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night.
And we will see you in the next one. Bye.
You can hug her, hon.
Well, put your face so she can see us.
That doesn't look posed. Largo, you give Bubba a fist pump since he's not feeling well. There you go.
I forgot what I was saying.
But yeah,
no, because we came back on with our
packing our bags again.
Sometimes waiting for the bathroom. No, I'm serious. Sometimes at the hostel we have to wait for the bathroom. Yes,
with the hostel.
You think I was making fun of you?
I thought you were just talking about me. But
he's in the bathroom forever.